Ukraine needs full confiscation of Russian assets abroad. Transferring the interest is not enough, the Ukrainian Justice Ministry said. Any alternatives to confiscation, such as transferring the profits generated by the assets of the aggressor country, can only be a short-term solution.
Such a decision requires political will, and therefore it is especially dangerous if additional initiatives are considered a successful solution to all problems. Any alternatives, no matter how sincere and noble they are, generate insufficient funds and can be solely as an intermediate and fast enough option to collect several billions for the immediate needs of Ukraine's reconstruction. Irina Mudra, Deputy Minister of Justice of Ukraine, in a comment to Reuters.
The seizure and transfer of Russian sovereign assets to Ukraine has been supported by a specialized committee of the lower house of the U.S. Congress. Estonia has also taken another step towards asset confiscation. The Constitutional Commission of the Estonian Parliament approved the relevant law draft prepared by the government. However, there is yet no talks about joint EU decision on the confiscation.
The Europeans have gone a little further. They have started to develop legislation for the use of taxes on frozen assets or taxes on income from frozen assets. In particular, Belgium at the moment is ready to discuss the issue of allocation of a part of income taxes to Ukraine. But again, these are not the amounts that Ukraine needs.
Kyiv estimates that at least $400 billion are needed to rebuild the country, and this amount could double if compensations for war victims is taken into account. After blocking the assets of the aggressor country in the West, the Kremlin responded by restricting foreign investment. Today, Russian authorities still hope the assets frozen abroad will be unblocked, at least to retail investors. On the November 9th, Putin signed a decree allowing foreigners to use their funds frozen by the Russians. However, not everything is so simple. According to the Russian president's decision, the money can only be spent on buying the assets of the Russians. So far, we are talking about unfreezing no more than 100 billion rubles. At the same time, there is no talk about unblocking the Federation's sovereign assets, which amount to $280 billion in the G7 countries alone.
There is a G7 decision very correct and very favorable for us regarding the fact that unfreezing of Russian assets will happen only after Russia agrees to pay reparations. Not even our victory, but agreement to pay reparations.
Official Moscow and Russian propagandists regularly assure that sanctions supposedly have no effect on the Russian economy. But the Kremlin's attempts to exchange assets frozen abroad, which, by the way, the European Commission has already discarded, prove Russia realizes that it will have to pay for its aggression against Ukraine. Reported by Anastasia Tarnavska, Valeria Nikipelova, UATV News.